Hello everyone. We are students who work at the Oxford University and we study the rivers in a project called LIVINGRIVER. This project has a purpose of alerting the students and the scientific community about the importance of rivers and water courses, not only due to their unquestionable environmental and ecological importance, but also about its high historical, social, and cultural value. This project also wants to alert the population, and doing so, push the society to promote initiatives that will contribute to the improvement of the river's conditions. A few years ago, we came to Portugal, and we traveled along the country until we found this beautiful historical city, called Viseu. When we visited the city, we discovered its river, Pavia. Only by looking at it, we could tell that it was polluted, and didn't have a lot of biodiversity. We also concluded that the city wasn't investing as much as it could to improve the river. We partnered up with Secondary School Alves Martins and we decided to study the quality of Pavia's water because we wanted to know more about the species that live on that ecosystem and the characteristics of the water. We did that by using a net with traps filled with leaves that we put on the river, which allowed us to conclude about the current state of the water. 2 weeks later, we went back to the river, and with the help of our collaborators, we picked up the leaves that were left there. When we arrived at the school's lab, we put some gloves on and we removed some of the dirt from the leaves. Then, we put them underwater for a little while so that the bugs that got caught in the traps could come out. There were little bugs and other living species in the water. Some of them indicated that the water was polluted, while others didn't. We knew that the red bugs were evidence that the water wasn't good, because we know that those insects are able to survive in not so good environments. Doing so, we analyzed the quantity of those bugs present in the water. When the water's pH is under 7.4, which indicates the acidification of the water course, that means that the river is severely polluted, and that was what we concluded when we analyzed the water composition. We can consider that the river has contaminated water, which puts the population's health at risk due to the presence of bacteria. This water, that cannot be drunk, should not be used for human consumption or even for any other activities. We then decided to do some research that could enlighten us about this pollution. We found some articles and interviewed some people that live in the city, who informed that the quality of the water has improved over the years, but it is still far from being good. Furthermore, there are still illegal sewage flushes into the river that end up increasing the toxicity of the water. Also, the river flow is very small, and the situation gets worse when the summertime comes and it loses a huge amount of its water due to the high temperatures. So, today we are here to talk about not only this river's importance, but also how every other water course can impact our daily lives.
Rivers have a big impact on the natural balance of the planet. They maintain the land quality by helping vegetation grow. They are the food source for a lot of animals and the habitat for a lot of species. There is a lot of biodiversity in the rivers, and for that reason they should be preserved. You might wonder which factors lead to the pollution of rivers, and today we are going to enlighten you. The three major sources of river pollution are agriculture, industry, and our daily actions. When it comes to agriculture, there are a few things that we can point out as pollution contributors, but the main one is the use of fertilizers and pesticides that will end up polluting the underground waters and consequently the rivers. Not only the agricultural sector is the biggest consumer of global water resources, but also a serious water polluter. When talking about the industry's impact on the river state, we refer to the use of water as an energy source and as a way to cool down machinery, and the disposal of toxic residues into the river, leading to the killing and destruction of ecosystems. Also, the chemical products used in industrial processes are sometimes accidentally discharged into rivers, and these substances may enter the water in high concentrations. Every product we buy is made in factories, which releases toxic gases into the atmosphere and uses a lot of water to produce. Last but not least, the impact of our daily actions on the river is a topic of great concern because most of the time we don't even know how dangerous our habits can be. For instance, when people throw trash on the ground, they almost never think of the impact their action can have on the river. Over the last few decades, we have increased the amount of plastic in our oceans, and most of it comes from rivers. Pollution enters the rivers, sometimes in small amounts, at many different locations along the length of the river. This can lead to the degradation of ecosystems and public health problems for people living downstream. Dams are an issue of being concerned also. Dams alter the flow, temperature, and sediment in the river systems. Reduced flow alters aquatic habitats, reducing or removing populations of fish and plants that depend on the flow to bring food. Reduced flow also changes the habitats. Consequently, riverside vegetation may be affected too, and this may affect animal biodiversity, for example. Bird species may leave the area if their habitat is lost or altered. Furthermore, changes in the water temperature due to flow modification can affect insect development by not allowing them to complete their life cycle. The pollution of the river has a direct impact on our daily lives, and it changes water cycles. It can lead to floods and the destruction of the natural landscape. This can affect all sorts of activities, such as touristic ones, which bring money to our country, leading to economic repercussions. So, we are going to give you some tips about things you can do to protect our river.
You can, for instance, join the main local and international efforts to stop companies from taking over water supply systems. Also, you should find out if your city has water policies, like laws to promote the conservation of the river and ways to monitor the pollution. In addition, if you live near a watercourse, you need to be alert about the changes that happen around the river and report problems or illegal activities to the local authorities. You and your friends and family should support river-related activities, for example, by creating some markets around the river banks, or by encouraging the creation of projects that allow people to observe the city while on a small boat, for instance. With these activities, you are offering people a way to communicate with nature, and at the same time, you are raising money to improve the facilities around that area. However, everything starts at home, and there are a lot of small things you can include in your routines that will make a big difference. In your garden, you should reduce or eliminate the use of fertilizers and chemical herbicides and pesticides. Also, you should never dispose of household chemicals or cleaning agents by throwing them down the drain. Moreover, you should never flush pills, meds or objects down the toilet, but hand them at the pharmacy or places where they can be treated. Instead of using the dishwasher, you could hand wash your dishes, leading to a reduction of the amount of detergent and water you use. You should also use biodegradable products, recycle, reduce your shower time, and turn off the water when brushing your teeth. These are easy things you can change on a daily basis. These are a few of the many things you can do to make the planet a better place. We are not saying you should adopt all of these measures, but if you do, you will be helping your river and most importantly, your planet. Nowadays, riverside activities are becoming very popular because people want to take a break from technology and be in contact with nature. Doing so, there should be an investment from the mayor's office in order to solve these problems. Also, we should try to spend as much time as we could outdoors doing activities, such as playing sports, working out or running. With this, you will enjoy what nature has to offer and also improve your health. If you live near a river that is polluted, please try to enjoy as much as you can of it. And if you have some ideas that can lead to the improvement of their art, go to the city hall and tell them your ideas. So, our presentation ends here, and we hope you enjoyed it. We know that was a lot of information that we presented to you, but our main purpose was to warn you about the current situation of the world's rivers and to give you some advice and tips on things that you can do every day. If you have any doubts or want to know more about this topic and our project, you can go to our website or to Coimbra University, where our investigators are from, and we are sure they will help you. Also, don't forget to visit Viseu and the Pavia River and see how much this watercourse has an impact on the city. Thank you.